All right, good evening, FBLA, and welcome to our first annual district webinar. My name is Kyle Johnson, your state president, and we also have with us tonight your Region 3 Vice President, Joanna Latour, and your Region 4 Vice President, Yusuf Fatah.
Hi, guys.
Tonight, we hope to give you an insight into our state program of work, how you can create your district's program of work, and a bit more about the state initiatives in your district. We have a Q&A feature set up, so if you're viewing it through Google Hangouts, you'll be able to see that. If you're viewing it through YouTube, there should be an annotation in the lower left-hand corner of the video to see it in the Hangouts view. All right, so first I'd like to hand it over to Yusuf to speak about programs of work.
Should we actually wait a few minutes to see if anyone is?
Yeah, it looks like we have 0 viewers. We have
Okay.
1 viewer.
All right. Let's wait a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that 1 viewer is my
Went
iPad.
down 1.
That 1 is my iPad.
Okay, VP said it's not working.
Tell him to refresh his YouTube page.
Okay. Do you get alerts as soon as comments occur?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should have anyone who is watching comment to say that they are here.
There isn't a comment section.
There is not a comment section. Okay.
Are you on YouTube right now, Yusuf?
Yes.
Yeah, if you go to the Google Hangouts view, you can see it.
That's complicated.
But they can't comment from YouTube.
Yeah, that was like a backup thing. Kyle. That's okay.
What's up? All right, well, I think we can go ahead and start again. Ready?
All right. How many
All right.
views?
Good evening, FBLA, and welcome to our first annual district webinar. So my name is Kyle Johnson, your state president, and we also have with us tonight your Region 3 Vice President, Joanna Latour, and your Region 4 Vice President, Yusuf Fatah. Tonight, we hope to give you an insight into our state program of work, how you can create your district's program of work, and a bit more about the state initiatives in your district. We have a Q&A feature set up, so if you're viewing it through Google Hangouts, you should see it on the right side of the screen. And if you're viewing it on YouTube, there should be an annotation on the lower left of the video to see it in the Hangouts view. So first, we'd like to hand it over to Yusuf to speak about programs of work.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our first webinar. So I'm going to go ahead and kick off the program of work section of this webinar by
Did it freeze?
This is very useful for all of the district officers to be using, and especially in your districts. It's going to make sure to help you guys stay consistent and up to date with all of your deadlines. So a program of work typically follows a chart format, and this can be either electronic or handwritten, and it's divided into categories starting with objective and goals, tasks that you can do to complete those goals, and then everybody's assigned to a goal. During a break to very quickly whip out this program of work, take a look at anything we're going to be doing. This also definitely, for those of you who are district presidents tuning in with us, it easily removes the entire all the officer teams have one. And ours this year we're definitely looking forward to accomplishing everything on it. And so to start off, a recommended amount of objectives that you should have are around 5. And objectives typically
The audience says it keeps freezing on his video.
Objective, you're going to have goals. And these goals serve as kind of benchmarks that you want to achieve. So a goal within increasing communication could be such as we're having a monthly webinar. And so another example of a goal with, for example, increasing community outreach could be, as I believe Kyle's going to speak about later, is support these special that you are going to use to further your goal. So a task, for example, going along the same lines for increasing your community outreach with the Special Olympics could be having your entire district officer team attend a Special Olympics event. And a recommended thing is around 3 tasks. Obviously, if your goal is smaller, you might need less tasks. If your goal is larger, you might need more tasks. And then each person should be assigned to the goals that you have, or even the tasks. So it's recommended that you have about 2 people per, and these 2 people will consist of one person taking the lead and another person serving as a buddy or just somebody who's there to assist in any way that they can. And definitely when you're assigning these, try to stagger it where nobody's going to be a lead on too many things and nobody's going to be a assist on everything else. So definitely have some people be leads on some things and assist on the others so that everybody has an even workload. That's definitely something that you thoroughly want to avoid within your district, is giving somebody more than they can handle. It definitely lowers morale and things won't get done as easy. And probably the most important thing in your program of work is the ending of having a deadline. Deadlines are one of the absolute hardest things to achieve, and by having this one set deadline and having it written down, there's no excuse for not attaining the deadline and meeting this deadline. In addition, you can give a copy of these to your district director, and that way your district director can always know what you are working on, and there is no need for any questions of what have you guys been doing, where your district director can very easily look at your program of work and know what you guys should be working on. And I know it's also a great way to let your district director know these are some things we want to accomplish in this year, and definitely a great way of proposing new ideas to them. And so to conclude and wrap it all up, a great way to remember this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, POW, and POW stands for Program of Work. So 5 objectives, 4 goals, 3 tasks, 2 people, and 1 deadline. And that way you can have a very solid program of work. Now, if it's definitely modifiable, so if you think 5 objectives is too much, that's definitely workable. But some things you definitely want to stick to are your 1 deadline and your 2 people. And now I'm going to hand it back off to Kyle to talk about our state project, the Special Olympics, and the national project, the March of Dimes.
Cool. Thank you, Yusuf. So first off is the March of Dimes, which has been our national project for the past few decades. FBLA is the March of Dimes' largest sponsor / fundraiser. The majority of FBLA has given over $1 million to March of Dimes in the past since we've been a partner with them. So the biggest day for the March of Dimes is Prematurity Awareness Day, which is November 17th. So we have a few ideas for you guys to get involved with your district to celebrate this day. The first one would be a district-wide Purple Out. So that would involve getting in contact with all of your chapter officers to work with your school and your school's administration to encourage all students to wear purple on November 17th in support of the March of Dimes. Second, at the National Fall Leadership Conference, there should be a Blue Jeans for Babies dance. And we'd encourage you to work with the chapters in your district to provide something similar to the school. So you could raise funds for the March of Dimes and also offer cool night for your members. Next, another idea we had was walks in your district. The March of Dimes holds walks all the time in the Tampa area where Yusuf and I live, they're held all over Florida, so you can find it on the March of Dimes website. We should have a link in the description, or it'll be posted on the event page after we end this broadcast, where you can find a list of the events in your area. And then, as you get closer to your district's fall rally or your district's award ceremony, one idea that you can do to raise money for the March of Dimes and also the Special Olympics, which we'll get to a little later, would to have each school compete in raising money and give away chapter awards to the chapters that raise the most amount of money. So for our state project this year is the Special Olympics, which is an awesome organization. The biggest way to volunteer for the Special Olympics is through volunteering at their events, and I can actually show you you should see the website right now, or at least a link to the website if you're on the Hangouts view, where you can find all the events for the Special Olympics going on throughout the year as we're a partner with the Special Olympics. So getting involved with your districts is a great way to support these organizations. It's really a realistic goal for you to do with your officers. So next we'll hand it off to Joanna to talk about the Florida Communicator.
Hi everyone, hope you guys can hear me very well. So the Communicator is basically a newsletter that Florida FBLA sends out every once in a while. Typically it will be during the fall, winter, and spring. The fall edition of the newsletter should come out before the National Fall Leadership Conference. You guys should look out for that. But in the meantime, we would like for you guys to submit for any of the editions, spring, fall, winter, anything that you think you could show Florida FBLA. So let's say your district did an amazing event or activity and you really want to share it with everyone, have it published. Send it in to Alejandro, who is our reporter, and he will try and fit it into the newsletter. Other than that, we would, also you can find this newsletter in your district advisor's email. Don't go through their email. They will have it and ask them for it, or it should be on the Florida FBLA website. Other than that, we would love to hear your feedback on the Communicator. So if you guys have any ideas or you have any questions or want further information about the newsletter, then respond to Alejandro or one of the state officers and we'll try and figure everything out. So hopefully I kept that brief, and I will hand it over back to Yusuf so he can tell you about fundraising.
So thank you, Joanna. So one of the most important parts of your districts are going to be to fundraise. And fundraising is definitely one of the most beneficial parts in districts. Putting on your district leadership conference, organizing trophies or medals, and plaques, and venues and catering can all be a very, very costly expense. And in order to help alleviate that cost off of your members, one of the best things to do is fundraising. So I know, for example, in my district last year, as a district officer team, we decided to create a county-wide t-shirt. And within my county, there are 2 districts, so we partnered up with our neighboring district, and we sold district t-shirts. And these said Hillsborough County FBLA and had all the schools' names on the back. And because it was a fundraiser, we managed to get a local t-shirt company to help sponsor us and almost cut the cost of the t-shirts in half, down to around $5 a t-shirt. And by selling these t-shirts, we were able to make a lot of money. And instead of keeping this money in our district last year, which is totally fine to do if you guys decide to use it as a fundraiser for subsidizing costs for your members, we decided to donate it to our district charity. And so fundraising can be a great thing, whether you guys want to use it to donate to a charity, to create a, for example, like a competition scholarship where you can help cover competition fees for your students, or even if you just want to overall cut down your district cost. And some other examples of fundraising that you can do car washes are often a very useful tool, but one tip about car washes is instead of standing on the side of the road and having $5, $10 car wash, a great tool that you can use is actually doing a free car wash. And by doing this free car wash, people will come get their car wash, and then instead of paying for it, they will donate to your organization. And oftentimes people, when they see a free car wash, they will donate much, much more than they would ever actually donate if you told them it was a $5 car wash. Oftentimes people will donate even sometimes $20 bills for a simple car wash that they, if you stood on the side of the road and tried to get them to come in for $10, they wouldn't have given you a second look. And so it's these little things that can really help your district prosper. And through these different fundraising efforts that you can have, it can definitely help your district grow, definitely give your members a greater chance to become involved in this wonderful organization. And so that's it for fundraising, and I believe I'm actually going to keep talking about chapter officer training, or something we call such as CODE, which is Chapter Officer District Extravaganza. And it's a time where all of your district officers can come together. And for example, in my district, we do it at a local community college, where we get a couple rooms in the auditorium. All of the chapter officers from your district will go. You can have a district installation ceremony, have a guest speaker, a keynote address, have anybody really speak at your opening session, and then everybody can break off into their respective rooms. And within these rooms, for example, district presidents will train chapter presidents. District vice presidents will train chapter vice presidents, and so on. And by doing this, you as a leader in your district, you're helping all of your individual chapters to grow. Because remember that everything starts with the chapters. And if your chapter membership isn't increasing, then your district membership isn't increasing. So by doing this, you're able to very early in the year get your chapter officers ready to hit the ground running. And even if it is 1-2 months into the school year, that's still prime time where people are trying to gain their membership. Especially even with your chapter officers, by training your chapter officers, they're able to place higher in their competitions, come to districts, and it's just a great time where you're able to get all of the leaders of your district's FBLA in one place and be able to talk to them and have creative minds alike and the best and brightest of this organization together to really advance anything they can do. For example, in our district, a typical day at our chapter officer training will be opening ceremonies with our officer installation, an address from our district president, and then we'll break off into our respective rooms where we start off with a quick icebreaker, move into training, move into various activities that we can do to help show chapter officers what they can do in their respective chapters, and definitely teach them about what the duties of your office are. We even have and then we break off to lunch, and once we come back, the afternoon session is where each school goes to a room, or around 3 schools per room, and we give them that afternoon time where they can meet as a school and apply all the skills that they have learned earlier in the day. And one thing, like we mentioned earlier, that they do in this certain time is they create a program of work, and that way we send each chapter home with their own program of work that they can have and follow in order to make sure everything runs smoothly. And now I'm going to hand it back to Joanna to talk about how the state officers can help you guys this year.
Thank you. So to start off, I'm going to actually quote Mother Teresa. And the quote is, "You can do what I cannot do, and I can do what you cannot do, but together we can do great things." So, expanding upon that, just so you guys are aware, we state officers are here to help you. So if you guys have any needs in your district, or you would just like some representation from the state level, we are more than happy to travel to your district conferences or any other events, or even maybe a chapter meeting. But we do ask that you stick to the officers closest to your region unless you are pretty sure that the officer will be willing to travel far enough to help you guys out. But we are here to help you. So if you ever want us to speak at an event or be a face, then we can be there. And if you have any questions regarding that, then you can reach out to any one of us, and yeah, we will just be happy to help. And
adding on to that, a great way to make sure that we can definitely get out to you will be definitely your first point of contact should be your district director, and make sure that it is okay with them. Yes. And from there, you can feel free to let us know at any time. And then your district director will get in touch with our state advisor, Mrs. Jones. And from there, they can organize it and work it out. And we definitely, as Joanna said, are more than happy to come and help out with anything that we can.
Yeah. So, any other comments? Kyle, do you have anything to add? No? Okay. So with that, I will also be covering the next topic, which regards district calendars. So basically, I would encourage every district to come up with a calendar for events that you might be coordinating. And similar to how a program of work has deadlines, you would want to use a calendar for your deadlines as well. So you can probably use them together, and they would complement each other very well. Or you can just have one and send it out to your chapter officers and have them send those out to members, just so they feel more connected to the district and always know what's going on and when. And yeah.
So one great way to do that is through Google Calendar. You can enter in all the events online and then send out the link to the calendar where people can embed it into web pages. So you can just see all the events set out, and then people can download it into their phone. It'll sync with the server, so you can add events and remove events and change details, and it'll all sync, so everyone has the latest information.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. And with that, Yusuf, do you have anything to add? District calendar? No? I would encourage you, this is probably obvious already, to add your district conference onto there, and maybe deadlines for when you want certain events to be submitted. And with that, I will hand it on to Kyle, who will discuss the Fall Leadership Conference.
Cool. Thank you, Joanna. So Florida is really fortunate to be hosting one of the national Fall Leadership Conferences. The national one will be November 11th and 12th in Daytona Beach. And because we're hosting a national conference, the state conference will be held in conjunction with the national conference. So it'll be the day before on November 10th. We'll be in Daytona Beach at the Hilton Daytona Beach Resort. It's like right on the beach. So we're really excited to have you there. It'll be easier to attend than previous years because it's held in conjunction with the National Fall Leadership Conference. So registration will be a little cheaper this year and that sort of thing. So more people will be able to attend. It'll be a little more accessible. At the Fall Leadership Conferences, we'll have open events, different workshops, a guest speaker, and as soon as our Fall Leadership Conference is done, it'll go straight to the National Leadership Conference. We really hope that you attend both conferences, not just the state conference or not just the national conference, because the conferences really complement each other. They're held in the same place, so it's not too difficult to attend both. So with that, unless Joanna or Yusuf, you have anything to add about the National Fall Leadership Conference or the State Fall Leadership Conference, I'll hand it back to Joanna.
All right, thank you. I actually was going to comment one thing. Those of you who are FBLA district officers, I'm sure you are as in love with FBLA as we would like for you to be, but honestly, we want you to tell your members as well, those schools and everything, that attending a conference is really all a part of the FBLA experience and membership. So if they don't attend something, then they're kind of missing out on a part of it. And plus, I mean, I hope you guys know they are the most exciting things, at least in my opinion. So definitely encourage attendance, especially this year, because it's a lot easier to attend both conferences. And Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Joanna. I see in my chapter after the state leadership conference, a lot of students get so much more excited about FBLA.
Yeah.
If we can do that at the beginning of the year, where they still have the rest of the year to do their BAs and CSAs,
Business
it'll
Achievement
really
Award.
be the Business Achievement Awards, and the Community Service Awards. It's definitely a great way to get your members involved this year in FBLA, attending the fall leadership conferences.
And as somebody who attended the Fall Leadership Conference last year, I was very fortunate to be one of the students from Florida who went with my district to the Fall Leadership Conference in Charleston, South Carolina. And it was definitely a great opportunity to be there. For any of you who have attended the National Leadership Conference, it's somewhat similar to that in the sense that they still have workshops, opening and closing sessions. However, it's very nice in the fact that it's a lot more intimate, where you get to really network with other people in FBLA, and you get to go home taking a lot more. There's no stress of competition, so it's a lot of focus on what can I take home from this, rather than can I place on my competition.
Thank you. I like how you said that. All right. So if anyone has any questions, we will be... Oh.
Sorry, Joanna, I was muted.
Go ahead. That's
Kevin,
fine.
I see you just asked a question about the State Fall Leadership Conference. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. So the state conference will be November 10th, and then the national conference will be November 11th and 12th. The past 2 years, it was held at Lake Yale Retreat area, and attendance hasn't been that great, but we hope more people will attend this year. Last year it was during Halloween, so you might have not heard about it because your advisor might not have told you. We hope you'll definitely attend this year.
Yeah, also, if your advisor is not aware of the events that are going on, then you may want to actually take this information back to them. And you can also go onto the Florida FBLA website, and you'll find the calendar. Hopefully it's updated by now, and you can just go through that with them. And then even the national website, it'll say what events are coming up, and soon it will have the exact prices that you can expect. So you'll have all the information there for you to take back, and then take back to your advisor and chapter.
Yeah. And just to let you know, the state website calendar is updated, so you'll be able to see the stuff.
All right, cool. And what else was there? Also, it's not in like a difficult time like last year it was on Halloween. That was difficult for a lot of people. All right, so this brings us to my conclusion. As I was saying, if you guys have any questions, then definitely feel free to ask, either in the comments or the Google Hangouts question and answer section, and we'll be here to answer anything. Also, you can reach out to us via, social media or our emails. Is it okay if we share our information on here? Social media, do you guys care? Kyle, I'll let you go first if you want to tell them how to reach you. I think you're muted.
Joanna. We actually just had a conversation before we started the webinar about this thing. But you can find me on Facebook, Kyle Johnson. I don't really have a Twitter or an Instagram. I don't really post that much, but Facebook is definitely where you'll be able to contact me.
All right.
Joanna?
I'll let you go first because I'm going to finish it anyway.
Okay. So I do have all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you can find me on Facebook, it's just Youssef Fatah. And probably the easiest way for you guys to find me will be to go to the Florida FBLA Facebook page and make sure to like that page. And you can go to any of the posts and just go look at the likes, and I will be one of the likes on there. And then from there, I don't want to take up too much time giving out my Twitter and Instagram handles, but if you want to just go there, and then I can, if you want to know them, I can privately message you my Twitter or Instagram, and my email will be Youssef, Y-U-S-U-F, Fatah, F-A-T-T-A-H, 1999 at gmail.com. And feel free to contact me with any questions you have, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.
Awesome. So Honestly, the best way to contact me would be through Instagram or email. So my Instagram username is my first name, Joanna, and then the color pink. So just Joanna Pink. And then similar to Yusuf's email, it is my full name, Joanna Latour, so Joanna, last name Latorre, and the year 1999, and that is at yahoo.com. So like they were saying, you can feel free to contact us, and if you want to contact another officer, then you can use our information and we can send you over to that officer. And if you guys have any feedback, any comments, ideas for what we should discuss for the next conference, or anything you'd like to say, anything positive, hopefully nothing negative, mainly just feedback. If you guys have any, then you can also insert that into the questions area or comment on YouTube. Also, I believe we have a link survey for you guys, right?
Yes.
Someone want to explain that?
Okay, so we have a SurveyMonkey set up, or a Google Forms rather set up, and that Google Forms, we're just trying to get feedback on the webinar, trying to see how we can improve future ones. And also there is a section in it where we ask which district you are from, so that we make sure we have a record of attendance for the districts. And I don't know, Kyle, how do you want us to get them that link?
We'll post it as a comment on the YouTube, if that works for everyone. If it doesn't, just send a question real quick.
Yeah, send a question if you can't access the link. That it's not actually a question, but what your district number is.
Yeah, if you're on the YouTube page, you'll see the link to the thing. So,
and the reason behind this, did we already cover that?
No, we didn't. Do you want to talk about it?
I can talk about it, sure. Basically, we are taking a roll call of all the districts in Florida so that we can monitor who is attending and see which districts are really the most involved in order to recognize you guys at the state conference. So if you guys are looking forward to getting some extra recognition and see which, then comment your district number and we'll get you guys recognized. But that is only for districts who attend every single session. So if you guys are able to make it and we see that you are dedicated, then you will be rewarded and recognized. Thank you, that's it. I believe that's it, unless you guys have anything to add about that. Oh, actually, one more thing. It doesn't have to be the district president. If any case happens and the district president cannot make it, then you can have one representative attend the conference, or webinar, excuse me, and still get credit for that.
Yeah, and it's also not limited to just one person per district. If your entire district officer team wants to tune in, that's perfectly fine. Yes. But we would like to ideally have at least one representative per district. And Kevin, I do see your question, well, in the question section, but your feedback. Thank you for that, and we will definitely try to have all the links posted in the description before we begin next time.
Yeah, thank you. This is our first annual ever happening webinar, so any feedback, just like Kevin did, is much appreciated. I believe I said that correctly. All right, any other feedback? We're just going to hang out a little bit and let the questions or comments roll in. Any topics you guys want to cover, feel free to mention it in the comments or question and answer session.
Just as a side note, make sure the chapters in your district see the changes to competitive events that were made this year by the National Center.
Yes.
For instance, it doesn't have to be a team anymore for emerging business issues and business ethics. An individual can compete in those events as well now.
Everybody, what's the best way for us to get you the link to the survey that we have?
Yeah, comment how you want to receive this link. Can one of us screen share actually the link? Can we do that?
Yeah, it's not a long link.
Okay. Didn't want you guys to manually type it, but you might have to.
It's not letting us share it in the showcase thing.
It's not. Okay. Well, how long is this link? Can we read it out loud?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't want to make them go through that. Okay, so let me try something real quick. Okay. So is everybody ready to get this link?
I'm muted. Okay. Also,
Okay.
for future reference, do not ever feel shy to comment something. Do not be embarrassed because everyone here has something to ask about or has something to share. And even if you're another district officer who can help a fellow district officer, feel free to comment back to them. This should be very open for everyone. We're here to help you and hopefully get you guys a lot more involved and in the know. So just comment.
Okay, so Kevin, are you referring to the link to the survey?
Thank you, Kevin.
If you all can get to the survey, fine then. I think that's all we have unless anybody has any more questions.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. We hope the webinar was useful for you, that you'll be able to use the information that you learned from this webinar and better your district. Yusuf, Joanna, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm good. Thank you all for tuning in, and we hope to see you all next time.
Yeah, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out to us and be sure to submit anything to the communicator.
Yeah. We hope to see you guys soon.
Yes, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Conference. Yes. Bye.